Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this episode, we're going to be talking about 5 tips to keep in mind when moving to a foreign country. The first tip I can give you when moving to a foreign country is to definitely plan ahead. This is something that you don't want to do at the last minute because there's so many things that go into this, from finding a living situation, getting all your paperwork in order, visas, work permit, residence permits, social security numbers. There are so many things that go into moving to a different country that you definitely want to plan this out months in advance. In the case of my own situation, even though I had a job lined up here in Sweden, it still took me over 4 months to get a work permit. So it's definitely something that you really want to think about ahead of time. And also, depending on the country, it can be very difficult to find a place to live. Finding accommodations in the town that I live now, Norrköping, is very difficult. That they have waiting lists of over 5 years to get an apartment. And we actually had to take over somebody's lease secondhand just in order to find a place to live. And then when they ended up moving to a different place, we were able to get the first-hand contract. So we had to think outside the box in order to get a decent living situation here. But that would not have been possible if we were not planning far in advance to make this work. So definitely plan ahead, and that way you can have a seamless transition to your new country that you're moving to. The second tip I can give you is to have a plan in place to deal with the financials. You have to be able to support yourself wherever you are, if you're staying in your own country, or especially that's the case if you're moving to a foreign country, because everything's new and you have to have an income to be able to support yourself. And especially in Sweden here, where things are very expensive, you definitely want to have some sort of job or something in line before you come here. That way you're able to support yourself in some sort of way. So at least have a plan for yourself financially so that you can make that transition much easier. The third tip I can give you is to start learning the language as soon as you know that you're going to move to a new country. I know, at least in my own opinion, when people are in America, the expectation is that they're speaking English. And so why would it be any different if you move to a different country? Why would you expect to get by without knowing the language of the natives there? For me personally, even though everyone in Sweden speaks amazing English, I still have taken it upon myself to really go out of my way to learn the language, because not only is it going to help me make the connections and fit into the society here, everything's just going to be that much easier if I can speak the native language. And I think that's just something that's really important to me, and it's going to go a long way for you if you show that you can put in that effort and at least be making strides to improve and get better and better speaking the language every day. A lot of countries aren't so fortunate where they speak such great English as a second language. So if you're moving to a country where you can't communicate and speak that language with the other people, it's going to be very difficult to get around. So in those cases, you definitely want to be learning the language before you move, just so you can at least communicate the basics of what it is that you want and need. If you haven't seen my videos on how to learn a new language in 6 months, or examples of me speaking Swedish after living here in 6 months, go ahead and check those out. I'll link them below in the description. The fourth tip I can give you before moving to a foreign country is to learn a bit about the culture of the country that you're moving to. This might seem like something that's obvious, but you don't want to move into a new country and then just be completely shocked by the way things are done. So definitely start to watch videos, read about the culture on the internet. Find out as much as you can about the culture, just because it's going to help you relate to the people and have an understanding of what's going on and the reasoning why people behave the way they do. And I think that for me, one of the reasons why I moved to Sweden in the first place was to experience different cultures and to see how other people live. So at least for me, learning a new language and a new culture, they've been some of the top priorities for me in making this whole experience as positive as possible. When you know a country's culture, you are going to relate so much better to the people here, and it's just going to go a long way in helping you integrate yourself into that society in that new country that you're moving to. So learn the language, learn the culture, and you'll be much better suited when you're moving to a new country. And the last tip I can give you is to find a social outlet. When you move to a foreign country, you're gonna be leaving a lot of your friends and family back home a lot of times. At least I know I did, so I know that it's very, very important to find a social outlet. Whether it's going out with colleagues after work, finding people in town with similar interests as you, joining meetup groups, maybe taking a foreign language class where you can meet other people that are also new to the area. Those are all great ways to meet new people. Sweden is actually one of the more difficult places to meet new people, as ranked by a few studies. It can be challenging at times to find friends here, but if you're going out of your way and finding people with similar interests as you and just being open-minded, the journey is going to take you amazing places. So I hope you guys found these tips helpful. These are just some basic things to keep in mind when moving to a new country, and I've tried to do these and it's really helped make my transition really, really nice here. I feel like I've made a lot of good friends right off the bat. I had a job lined up, so there was never any real question about being able to support myself, and that has just made this transition way easier than I could have ever imagined. So with that in mind, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope maybe you're inspired to go out and experience different cultures. And even if you don't move to another country, there's just so much to learn about the world and different cultures going on around us that I never really understood the people that would just stay in the town where they were born and go to school and work and do everything in this one little bubble when there's a whole world out there. And it just feels so good that I'm on this journey exploring things and seeing what's out there. And I'm hoping that through this channel, I can maybe inspire some of you guys to see what's out there. I don't know what the future holds for me personally, but I know that every day I want to be learning new things, making myself a better person, and able to see different perspectives a little bit better. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're not already, and have a great day.